you can see on the outside they're a little crispy around the edges. I'm gonna let them sit for a little bit while I put the other ones in and load up the other pan. This batch I'll probably put in for 10 minutes maybe, just because I'm not happy with the crispiness of these ones. I will tell you, when I ended the live stream, I told you guys I thought it was my daughter letting one of my pups out to come see me. No, it was actually her. She was waiting for me to end the live stream so she could come out, and she's in her 30s and she's home for Christmas, and she could come out and eat some of the dough. She ate some of the peppermint bark dough. She said it was absolutely amazing. And her exact words to me were, "This is what I've dreamed about." So I did something right. Let's hope the cookies come out very moist as well. As you can see, I'm not real happy with them. They're a little bit crispy, but we'll see how they taste. And she did confirm for me, like I told you guys the last live stream, that I was probably not allowed back in the room where they're watching the Alabama game, because the score when she came out, she told me it was 17-17, and that it was 17-0 when I came out here to start baking. So people who watch sports are superstitious, so I am not allowed back in there. I could go ahead and make my Christmas cookies. I will tell you, one of the things about my Christmas cookies is I like to make them, but a lot of Christmas cookies that people use, the Christmas cookie recipes, you have to let them sit in the refrigerator. You can let them sit in the refrigerator, but my Christmas cookie recipe, you don't have to. Just like this recipe, you can let it sit in the refrigerator and let the cookies firm up, and that's fine. I just started cooking them because I'm not allowed in the room where they're watching the football game. And when you do that, they don't spread out as much when they're baking. They don't spread out. Let me put this in the sink. If you notice, I cleaned up quite a bit. Use my Christmas pot holder. So I'm gonna bring this over. As you can see, they're a little toasty. I'm not happy with that, but that is okay. Let me get in. We'll see how they taste. And they spread out a lot, and that was because I didn't put them in the refrigerator and let them firm up a little bit more. So we'll see how they taste. Like I said, you guys get to watch all of this because my daughter told me I'm not allowed to go back into the room. Since I left, Alabama scored 2 touchdowns. The score was, when she came out to lick the pan, 17-17. So I would like to start making my Christmas cookies. However, I don't have all the ingredients out, and I don't have my Christmas cookie recipe in front of me. These are, if you're new tuning in, these are peppermint bark Christmas cookies. They're a little bit too crunchy for my taste. I think I pulled out too much flour, and that's okay. But we'll see how, when they sit and they cool down, how good they taste. Let's see what the bottoms look like. Well, the bottoms look pretty good. Like I said earlier, if you want cookies that are a little bit darker, you can use the darker brown sugar. I always like to use the light brown sugar. My recipes for this is 2 1/4 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, a teaspoon of salt. I set that aside, and then I cream in my KitchenAid mixer. I go ahead and cream butter. 1 cup. Go ahead and use 3/4 cup of sugar, 3/4 cup of brown sugar, 2 eggs, add them one at a time, and then I mix in the flour mixture mix it all up. Then to make these peppermint bark cookies, I used white chocolate, dark chocolate, and you can take out some peppermint and crush them up. I would not recommend you use peppermint extract. Peppermint extract, as I was explaining to a girl at my office today, will give you an aftertaste. It's not a really good aftertaste. My daughter was telling me that the cookie dough tasted like the Ghirardelli cookie dough. So, I'm assuming these cookies are great. I'm looking forward to people eating them. So I wanted to let you guys see them, what they look like on the bottom. I'm letting them cool on the cooling rack. I will tell you, hello everyone. I will share the recipe again since I have so many people on it. These are my homemade, from scratch, peppermint bark cookies. And the recipe is in a separate container. You put in 2 1/4 cup of flour. And if you want thicker cookies, go ahead and add another tablespoon. If you want thinner cookies like this, pull out a tablespoon. That is actually how you make either thicker cookies or thinner cookies. Then I put in a teaspoon of baking soda, a teaspoon of salt. I set that aside. And my KitchenAid mixer, you can see I cleaned up afterwards. I go ahead and put in 1 cup of softened butter. I like to use the unsalted Land O'Lakes butter. I go ahead and put in 3/4 cup of sugar, 3/4 cup of brown sugar. You can use light or dark, it really doesn't matter. When I put in my sugars, I always like to use name brands. Hey Emma, welcome. I am glad you're joining me tonight as I'm making these cookies. I would love to share some with you. These are, they say, my daughter told me that the dough tasted absolutely amazing. And it looks like my gimbal actually died. I knew I needed to charge this, so I'm gonna go ahead and set this up against this. Emma, I am glad you are joining us tonight. It is great to have you here. I am making these cookies to finish going. And my daughter, I can tell you, she doesn't want to be on live stream, but I know what she's waiting for. She is waiting for a cookie, so I'm going to hand that to her. Emma, I'm going to hand a cookie to my daughter. Here's the cookie. And I will let her make the decision. Emma, I'm so glad you joined us tonight. This is awesome. I'm glad you're here. And I'm glad your sister's with you. My sister is probably I have 2 sisters, and I'm very close to both of them. And I will tell you, sisters are special. Sisters are amazing. So I am going to go ahead and end the live stream. Emma, again, I'm glad you're here. For the people who are here, thank you so very much. Like I said, probably sometime this weekend, I'm going to go ahead and make my homemade Christmas cookies. My husband was telling me at their Christmas party this week, they took a vote, without me present, of course, and they said, what would you like me to bring in? Would you like gifts? What do you want? And they all told my husband, we don't want gifts, we want your wife's homemade Christmas cookies. I will tell you, it's a secret recipe that's been passed down from generation to generation. But for those who join me live stream, I'm going to go ahead and give you that recipe, because you do not have to put them in the refrigerator. You do not have to wait. You can cut them out, and then I will make them live stream, and I will go ahead and ice the cookies. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Emma, I am so glad you joined us. Everyone have a great night, and go Bama.